Hey there, this is John from Heroes and Legends, and welcome to day 6 of official Oath of the Gatewatch spoilers. So we have 6 brand new, never before seen cards to take a look at, and we have a few cards that have previously been leaked but have now been confirmed. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, definitely a good time to do so. Every day that we have spoilers this week, we will be back with a new video and give you some quick analysis and compile everything for you. Starting on Friday, we'll begin our full set review and hopefully get you prepared for the pre-release coming up a week from this weekend. So having said that, let's jump into the cards. First, we'll start off with Kozilek's Return. Now, this was previously leaked, so I won't go into a lot of crazy detail on this card or the other previously leaked cards since we've talked about them in previous videos. But I will say this is a very powerful card. This is definitely going to see some standard play. I would not be shocked if this sees modern play, especially in that Eldrazi deck. Basically, you get a Pyroclasm effect at instant speed for 3. That alone makes this kind of awesome, and then on top of that, if you are playing with big Eldrazi's, you get a second free, basically board sweeper effect, destroying everything that's 5 toughness or less when you cast the big Eldrazi. That's pretty versatile and pretty awesome. This is a mythic. Watch out for this one price-wise, because I could see this climbing as it's getting more and more use in possibly multiple formats. Next, we have another card that was previously leaked, World Breaker. This one's also a mythic, not as exciting to me. I think the problem with this, for me anyway, is it costs 7. As far as limited goes, yeah, it's a bomb. 5/7 with reach for 7 is going to be just fine for you. And it also gets to exile an artifact, enchantment, or land when it comes into play. That's pretty fine for limited. But when you go outside limited, this card probably doesn't have a whole lot of use. It's just too expensive and too slow to really make a huge impact. There's just better things you could be doing out there. And quite honestly, I don't know if this would even always make your limited cut, just because you may have some other top-end creatures that are very, very good that you rather play. Next, we have Cinder Barons, and this is part of a 5-card Allied Colors cycle, and we've previously seen 3 of these cards spoiled in the leak, but 2 we have yet to see, so now we have all 5 of them confirmed as spoilers. So let's look at this real quick. Basically, it comes into play tapped, and it's a dual land. It gives you red or black in this case. When this was originally leaked, a lot of people were kind of disappointed with this card just because these cards just felt like the comes into play tap lands from many years ago. And since then, we've seen more powerful things like the Gates and Dragon's Maze and stuff like that. But these are basically just here because they needed them for the limited game. And after you play your draft or take apart your seal pool, and probably throw these in a box and never use them again. They don't have a lot of purpose in any other meta, but they're necessary for this limited environment. I'm sure that's why they're there. I'm sure they play tested and realized we need some mana fixing at the uncommon spot, and here they are. Instead of reprinting the old ones, they did something with some new flavor that is a little closer related to Zendikar, which totally makes sense. So here's the first one. Second one, Meandering River. This gets you the white or blue. Then we have Tranquil Expanse for green or white. And now the next one we've never seen before. This is Submerged Boneyard for blue and black. And finally another new one, Timber Gorge for red or green. So not super exciting, but there's the cycle. Alright, on to some more new stuff. Oath of Gideon, 1 white, 2 colorless legendary enchantment. When Oath of Gideon enters the battlefield, put 2 1/1 white core ally creature tokens onto the battlefield. Each planeswalker you control enters the battlefield with an additional loyalty counter on it. I like the fact that I can get 2 tokens for 3, and I can get 2 ally or rally triggers, more importantly. So that's really what this card's trying to do. It's just giving you some triggers, and that can be pretty powerful in the right limited deck. So if you're able to draft a lot of rally and you can get your hands on an Oath of Gideon, you'll be very happy. It's going to do some good work for you. As far as the stagnant ability, probably not as relevant in a lot of cases, but not bad, especially if you end up playing this in some sort of, say, commander deck where you may be playing with more planeswalkers, then that's not a bad thing to have attached to it. So I do like the design of these oaths. I like the fact that when they come into play, you get some sort of effect that is small, but still could have a large impact depending on your board state. And then on top of that, it kind of has the stagnant effect. So I do like where they're going with these. I don't really see this one seeing standard play unless we really see a true ally rally tribal deck come out of Oath of the Gatewatch, which you never know. We haven't seen all the cards yet. But so far, rally is more in like things like the 4-color rally deck, which is being a little more unfair than just tribal. So let's move on to the next one. We have a card that was spoiled from a Japanese spoiler, Overwhelming Denial, and this is 2 blue, 2 generic. It's an instant with surge cost for 2 blue. Overwhelming Denial can't be countered by spells or abilities, counter target spell. So that's actually pretty good. You can pay 4 to counter spell and your counter can't be countered. That's nice. And on top of that, if you can get it out for the surge cost, it's very cheap at 2 blue. Very economical. So I like this. It seems like blue-white control is really being pushed. I feel like we're going to definitely see a control deck come up in prominence in standard, or at least people trying to make it work. It seems like the pieces are all coming together for that. So this card will definitely see play in that deck in standard. As far as limited goes, this is a fine limited card. It's not going to make all builds. It depends on how aggressive you're being, but if you're being a little more control-y, this is going to do well for you in limited. Next we have Sifter of Skulls, 1 black, 3 generic. It's a 4/3 Eldrazi with Devoid, and whenever another non-token creature you control dies, put a 1/1 Eldrazi sign creature token on the battlefield, and of course that can be sacrificed for colorless mana. So this is a great limited card. I mean, paying 4 for a 4/3 is just fine, and on top of that, if you do lose a creature, you get a token. Yeah, why not? That's going to be doing some work in limited games, but I will say standard, probably not so much. It's just doesn't have evasion. It doesn't really do much other than be a 4/3 unless you lose other creatures, and in that case you might be losing the game anyway, so it doesn't really help you come back. And yeah, it kind of is what it is, but it's a fine limited card. And our last card of the day is Embodiment of Insight, 1 green, 4 generic. It's an elemental, 4/4 with vigilance. Land creatures you control have vigilance, and there's a landfall ability. Whenever your land enters the battlefield under your control, you may have target land you control become a 3/3 elemental creature with haste until end of turn. It's still a land. So we saw a card like this a few days ago that when it comes into play gives your lands trample. So maybe there's some sort of Voltron sort of sliver mechanic-y thing going on here, which is kind of cool actually. I really like that design, so I'm looking forward to seeing maybe more pieces of this, and maybe your lands just get more abilities. That would be pretty awesome. So keep an eye out for this as far as a real strong casual favorite. It's not going to be standard playable, obviously, putting together a kind of Voltron sliver-esque plan, but might be something you draft around. Might be just fine, even if you only have a couple components to the combos in a sealed pool. So definitely cool for limited. I think it will be really neat there, and I could see a commander deck trying to put these together. So looking forward to see what the others look like. I'm assuming we'll see some more that are similar. Having said that, those are the spoilers for today, so we'll be back tomorrow with a new video. Until then, hey, as always, thanks for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, and have a great day.
Hey, thanks as always for watching. This video, like all my videos, was made possible by the generous support of viewers like you on Patreon. Even a donation of $1 helps me to keep growing this community and creating better quality videos for all of you. Check out our Patreon page for exclusive giveaways and future goals for the channel. If you haven't had a chance yet to subscribe, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the MTG news, spoilers, set reviews, product openings, or finance videos on Heroes and Legends. Talk to you again soon, and have a good day.